Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope all is well with you and yours. There's so much going on. There's like a ridiculous amount of going on. First, I want to call out Cortez Charles. My man wrote an article about quantum and published it on Polygon. Thank you, Charles. I was hoping somebody would do exactly that. We see you. Thank you. Much love. Now, Mona has been writing me. I met her, last year? And she's been writing me forever to do the class. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing the class. My friend Donna pressured me, if you're going to do a class, you might as well do a book because people are going to get more from the book because they'll always refer back to the book. So doing the book. The book is a hair away. We should have it out to printing like this week. So I'm really happy. I'm going through it one last time to make any last edits or anything else, but it's been laid out. The cover design is being done by Agan Shehu. I'm meeting with him at 11. Awesome designer. The layout of the book is done by Helene Friedland. Just amazing. She's been doing print design for forever. So it's been great working with this team. It's been awesome. It's been a great experience. But anyway, let's dig into it. There's so much going on right now. So for Grow My Bag TV, we've got Coinbase. You know, when it happened a long time ago, it was like, no big deal. And it happened again. But there's like a pattern now, right? And now, I mean, there's been a pattern, but now it's even more annoying because there's absolutely no reason for it. That's why it's annoying. It's not like this is a tiny little company. They're just getting started and, you know, they're still working out their kinks and things like that. No, this is a well-established company that are in it for billions. And I'm just sitting back and I'm saying to myself, how the hell do you go down during a big market move, whether it be up or whether it be down? How are you going down? AOL went down once. Well, not once, but that big time they went down once and they corrected it. They were all over it. What they said was, we didn't plan for success. Sorry about that. We're doing it now. And they went out and bought a whole bunch of routers to correct the problem. Coinbase does not seem to be learning from that lesson, and they're not correcting the problem. And people wonder why I am not a big fan. Now, I do use Coinbase, but I'm not a big fan of custodial platforms. I use them for a specific reason. I'm on, then I'm off. I do what I have to do, then I'm off. Why? Because I keep like 95% of my stuff in non-custodial wallets. And yes, several. So that's annoying. And you want to know something else about Coinbase? Well, ARK Invest sold off 24 million shares on Monday. Coinbase was up, Coinbase was down. I'm pretty sure they made money off of that move. You know, her and her team, excuse me, pretty damn smart. So I'm pretty sure they made money. Great, one of my lights went out. That's odd. That's very odd. I think I need a new bulb. So what else is up? So Binance.us, not Binance, but Binance.us seems to be mimicking the regulatory woes of Binance, because in the United States, the SEC is saying, listen, where's the security compliance around, you know, user funds? Who's actually in control of user funds? And I'm like, ooh, that's not good. So the SEC is bringing that up because Binance doesn't seem to be reacting well. And you're going to see a lot of articles today talking about, oh, Binance did this and, you know, they fired 75% of their staff. No, that didn't happen just now. That happened late last year and I reported about it. So when you do your own research, get those timelines. You know what I'm saying? Get those timelines. But Binance.us is having big problems, big problems. I said it before. I'll say it again. I think they're going to wind up going out of business. Right? I'm stuck with about $200 on that platform and I haven't been able to get it off like for a while. So if you know somebody that works at Binance.us, help a brother out. I'm not going to stress about it. It's VeChain. It's VeChain that I have on there. And I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I have VeChain elsewhere. But I am annoyed because that $200 now could turn into a big number later. So, you know, I kind of want my stuff. It's something else that's going on. Polygon has this thing called the AggLayer. What the AggLayer is supposed to do is enhance interoperability between chains. Well, guess what? You want to know who partnered with them to actually become the first? Astar. That's right. I've been telling you about Astar for a minute. Somebody put me onto it. Was it Morgan that put me onto it? It was Morgan that put me onto it. Haven't heard from you for a while, Morgan. I want to hear from you. Just raise your hand. Let me know you're good. But Astar, who's doing business with Toyota and a couple of others, is now integrating onto Polygon's AggLayer. That's big. I told you, Polygon is a part of that connective tissue, and it seems odd because they're riding on the Ethereum layer, but they are doing a lot on the infrastructure side that we should all be paying attention to. This is why I tell you these things. Something else. Now, everybody was wondering why did Bitcoin take that dive yesterday? Binance had problems, big Binance, not Binance at US, but Binance had big problems. And so that had a negative effect. But you want to know what had a negative effect that I don't think a lot of people know about? There was a dormant miner's wallet that all of a sudden woke up and made moves. And that helped lead to the drop. Then you had a whole bunch of over-leveraged degens that also added to it. So it wasn't like one thing that fired everything off, right? It was like something happened, and then something happened again, and then another thing happened, and then this happened. Because think about it. The miners moved a way old wallet, might have been a couple of wallets. Then you had the Coinbase problem. Then you had the degen problem. So you're looking at this like perfect storm to make everything drive down. And guess what? I'm going to tell you something. We dropped way down. I think like 61,000 for Bitcoin. We're at 67. We're hovering around 67 this morning. A couple of days ago, it was like what, 63? We're having problems bumping up. Excuse me, and there you are. So it was a whole bunch of things that came together to create this perfect storm that created this problem. And I'm just sitting back and I'm going, wow, that's huge. That's huge. Now you understand why I tell you guys, keep your nose in the news. Keep doing your own research. You might see something before, the rest of the world sees it. And it gives you that one little piece of information that you needed to complete your story so that you could do your actions. There you go. So that's what happened with me. And, so what I do is I might not do a video in the afternoon, but I'm still doing research. So some of this information was actually from yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. Because I go back, because I do research so much, my time strip is like 12 hours. I'll go back like 12, 13 hours and I'll start doing research coming forward. So that's one of the tricks that I use to like get my head back in the game. Because I look at it as if I'm not doing research, my head's out of the game. And I do research a lot. But whenever I take a break, to do actual, work, I feel like my head's not in the game. So I go back, like I said, 12 hours. And if something repeats, I'll catch it because I'm reading all the time, right? I'm researching all the time. So I'll catch it and I'll be like, okay, got that. And I'll keep moving. But then I'll see something else that kind of keys in on it. So Coinbase went down. And then I happened to notice, tiny little article, only one place was carrying it. And Kathy Wood sold $24 million worth of coin. That's interesting. I'm going to pay attention to that. Right? So that's how I do it. Well, that's one of the things that, I have in my little bag of tricks that I use to keep me, on the precipice of all news. I'll notice if something is new. And then, it's up to you to figure out like what's newsworthy, what's going to move your bag, what's going to add to it, what can subtract from it. That's up to you. So I'm just giving you the framework for what it is that I do. So that's a lot of money. And then you had Grayscale. Grayscale's outflows were a lot, about what, 300 million yesterday, but their inflows were higher. So it kind of evens out. But you've got to say, there are a lot of people that saw the numbers go up. They saw that hit and they were like, oh my God, I'm going to take profit. That's the original. That's the the initial point. That's the flash point, right? Oh, we hit the all-time high. Got to take some money out. Got to shave from the top. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. I am not mad that people saw a high price and said, I'm going to dip out. So back to a conversation with Cortez. Cortez just wrote, on one of my posts that he's like, listen, when things go up, about 15%, I'm pulling out. Guess what? Warren Buffett has a 10% rule. He's like, when I hit 10% profit, I'm done. So when I first got started day trading eons ago, God, I'm old. Anyway, when I got started day trading eons ago, my boy and I, we were just like, yeah, we're 10%. We're going to do the Warren Buffett thing at 10%, done. Unless it's such a flash that you can't even catch that 10%. And how do you do that? You place a stop. You place a limit order. You're going to tap out at this level high, and you're going to tap out at this level low, and this is where you bought. So that way you're actually capping your risk, right? On the way down, you're capping your risk, and on the way up, yeah, you're capping your profit, but that's okay because you've calculated a profit. So that number for me, when it comes to trading in cryptos, is not 10%, right? Because I have a 5% rule. My 5% rule is I don't mess around moving anything based on a 5% move, right? That's my rule. 5% up, 5% down. I'm paying attention to the ultimate. So like you move 5% just now. What's your next big move in the next hour? Is that next hour 5% up again? Is it 5% down? Because then you're back at, you're bouncing around. So you're a little bit less than what that 5% was. So you're greater than that 5%, that original 5% move. I'm paying attention to those numbers. What are the sways, right? And that's how I'm making some of my moves. When I need to make a fast move, when a slow move, I'm looking way down the road, way down. I can't look way down the green right now because it's a little foggy down there, but I'm looking way down the road, right? That's one of the tools that's in my toolbox that I'm using all the time. Even when I'm not making a move, I'm still paying attention to sways. And you see it every day when I, snap my fingers and point at you guys. Somebody cracked a joke like that. My man Gamer. Could be a woman. I don't know. We'll just call them they. There you go. So I go over my numbers and I look to see, well, did I see that yesterday? Did I see them up a lot yesterday? And also, why were people taking money off the table yesterday? A lot of altcoins dropped. Why is that? Because they were taking profit. Don't flip out. We dropped all the way down to $60-something thousand. Hear me out. We dropped all the way down to $60-something thousand. It was only a couple of weeks ago that we were down in the 50s and 40s. So we were in the 60s and we dropped to lower 60s, numbers that we couldn't hit just a week ago. Why are we freaking? Why are we freaking? Right? So I'm looking at Peter Schiff, point fingers, Peter Schiff and Jim Cramer wagging their finger at Michael Saylor. And I'm thinking, thank you. Thank you very much. Because whenever those nitwits open their mouths, they're very smart guys, right? But when it comes to crypto, they're nitwits. When those nitwits open up their mouths about anything crypto, thank you very much when it's on the upside, right? Because the inverse Kramer. And it's actually true. This guy, whenever he says something, so I think it's hit its top. Do you realize that when I woke up this morning, before I got to my desk, we were at 67 and change. When I woke up, we were at 66. I'm just saying, we could hit all-time high again today. The degens were wiped out. They were liquidated. Miners took some money off the table. So who else do you have that's going to have that kind of money lying around to put that much downward pressure on Bitcoin and the rest of the market? Not a lot left. And those that do, they're not trying to bring down the market. Nope. So experts are actually saying, listen, we're expecting altcoins. Altcoins might actually outperform everybody. Bonk is listed. Dog with Hat is listed. Pepe is listed. You have a lot of meme coins out there that are listed that are making big moves. Big moves. Somebody was talking about Shiba Inu, and they were like, oh, and this is the day after he was praising Shiba Inu, week after he was saying, I don't believe in Shiba Inu. So yeah, I don't really listen to this guy when he has something to say. I just look at it as like fodder, right? But what he was saying was, listen, people are buying SHIB because they don't know about Bonk and Dog with Hat. And my correction is going to be, no, people are buying SHIB because they know about the ecosystem. They know about this vast, sprawling ecosystem and the support from the Shiba Inu army. It's not just, a thought. Like this coin, the coin is being used, the ecosystem is being used. Their layer 2 Shibarium being used. You can't wag your finger at something that has established roots. And it's like he was disappointed that, people are only buying that because they don't know about these other things. Okay, I'm glad that you're making money off the other things, but why are you going to rain on somebody else's parade? I don't get it. I don't get it. He's a big time Bitcoin person. I love Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's a great thing. I look at it differently. I tell you guys that every day. But when I look at other coins, I judge those other coins primarily based on what they are doing, what that coin is doing, what that ecosystem is doing, what that community is doing, what those development teams are doing. And then once I understand what they're all about, then I compare them to their peers. How are you moving versus your peers? What are you doing that's different than your peers? Are you doing it better? Are you doing it faster? Are you doing it more securely? So I first look at Cardano. What are you doing that's better than your peers? Well, they don't go down. They're just as fast or faster. They are very secure. They make pragmatic moves. Yeah. That is a transaction coin if I ever saw one. Again, I was having a conversation with Steven yesterday, and Steven was like, yeah, I don't know why people look at Bitcoin like that. Bitcoin is, and this is me not saying anything. This is me listening to him. He's like, yeah, Bitcoin's a long-term investment. He was like, it's almost like a bond. You buy it and you hold it like forever. You use it to go get money. It's like stocks. Rich people use their stock portfolios. They set up various portfolios and they use their portfolios to get loans for money to live on. And then they make payments on that from whatever funds that they have that are making money for them. That's what they do. And Bitcoin to me is going to be exactly like that. You have too many people just saying, I'm going to hold my Bitcoin. I'm going to hold my Bitcoin. I'm going to hold my Bitcoin. So if everybody's holding their freaking Bitcoin, but Bitcoin goes up in price because it becomes more scarce, so only 21 million. Let's read the tea leaves. Now, as on the international stage, as Binance keeps faltering, right? Binance just had to get the hell out of Dodge when it came to Nigeria. They finally said, fine, we'll stop operations, blah, 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 wham, wham, wham. So they're out of Nigeria. That's one. What's the next one? Is that Macy? I'm pretty sure that's Macy, the dog from next door. It's Stitch's girlfriend is the dog next door. So that's Macy. And I'm just seeing somebody new walking Macy because that's not one of the kids. So looking at Bitstamp just got a nod from Singapore. And some people might be like, well, why is that a big deal? It's a big deal because Singapore is a huge financial hub. Huge financial hub. So hat tip to Bitstamp for doing its thing. Bitstamp is based in Europe. So it's a big deal for Bitstamp to be in Singapore. We should be paying attention to moves like that. Big attention to moves like that. Something else that I just mentioned, OpenSea, when was it, yesterday or the day before? And I said OpenSea is losing out because now Magic Eden is the #1 NFT marketplace. Well, OpenSea just partnered with Coachella. Coachella is going to be issuing again because they did it with FTX. We all know what happened with FTX. They're issuing NFTs that you'll use as your VIP pass. That's dope. That's freaking dope. So now those NFTs, guess what? That's right. They partnered with OpenSea, and so OpenSea has some positive news. They needed it. They really, truly needed it. But this should also tell you about how NFTs can be used as membership tokens. A lot of people don't realize that. They think, oh, it's just artwork. It's not. NFTs are way beyond that. They're way beyond that. So it's something to pay attention to. The big news today that we should be paying attention to is Powell's going to be speaking today in the United States, Fed. And people are going to be paying attention to anything that man has to say. So I'm going to tell you now, the second he opens up his mouth, market's going to go up a little bit or go sideways. And then I'm going to see it take a dip. Stock market. I'm going to see it take a dip because it's happened every single time and I can put money on it. Right? The market will recover. That's going to happen. Is that going to have an effect on crypto? I don't think so. I think there's so much positive and upward momentum that I don't think it's going to have a huge effect. I really don't. I think that's the big deal, right? So I'm just going over my notes one more time, make sure I didn't miss anything today before we get into the numbers. And you know what? We should get into the numbers. And I forgot the freaking thing on again. I feel like such a dweeb, but that's all right. That's all right. It happens. I forget. I'm in such a rush to get everything done. Let me just refresh this. All right. So who do we have? Bone from Shiba Swap down 14%. Not a big deal to me. Internet Computer down 12%. No, I do not play with it. Somebody asked me again. No, I do not play with ICP. And the reason why, it's just not decentralized enough for me. There's too much centralized control. So yeah, that's a negative for me. Quantum, QTUM, Quantum, down 11%. I know Cortez. I know there are a couple of people out there that love Quantum. I'm not on that bandwagon yet, but I truly appreciate the research that Cortez put in. Go check out the article that he wrote. I have the link in the notes below. Decentralized Social, not something I'm hanging on to, but you know, I know the name, I know what they're all about. 11% down. Who else is down here that I'm paying attention to? Shiba Inu, more profit taking, down 9%. I mean, it's up crazy right now. Look at that market cap, 21 billion. I'm just saying. All right. Ethereum name service, 9%. Down. Bonk down 9%. I think, again, more profit taking. Stellar down 9%. Flare down 9%. Ordi down 9%. Psy down 8%. Again, I think it's just profit taking. I think you're gonna see these coins pop up again. I really do. So everybody on this list is up. We'll start with Floki, one of my son's favorites. It's up 7%. He's probably gonna drop me a note this morning and brag about it. Because him and Aiden got into it and I didn't get into it because they didn't tell me. They just went and got into it. But that tells me that I'm doing the right thing, right? I taught my kid how to do research. His boy Aiden is the same way. That's why they're like brothers. Aiden is like another son, right? His family calls Taj another son. They've got 5 kids, including the twins. Crazy because Aiden's twin. But Pepe but Floki, they did the research. I taught him well. He dives in. He researches everything. So they went in on Floki, and Floki's coming up in a big fashion, up 7%. Pepe, I just mentioned Pepe. Did you see that rank? 39? What? Up 8%. Who else? Aptos up 11%. Fetch AI, play up 11%. Leo ranked number 24, up 12%. Arweave, a company, actually let's look at Dogwoof Hat, up 13. Arweave up 14. Arweave is a file sharing play, and I actually like Arweave. I told you, one of my boys, Phil, he's actually got a business, and their business runs on top of Arweave, so I'm liking that. Uniswap out of nowhere, I didn't even see any news about this, but Uniswap is up 19%. Uniswap, I definitely love, definitely a part of that connective tissue I keep telling you guys about. So Uniswap, Polygon, Chainlink, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, all of these projects. And there are more. Pith Network is coming along. There are more projects out there, VeChain, that I believe are part of connective tissue, where they're building infrastructure upon which other companies, other projects are building onto as well. That's why I say so. Zilliqa, not something, it's a name that I know, but I hadn't done a lot of research into it, but they're up 19%. Who else? That's it. All right. That's pretty cool. Again, Powell's going to be talking today. Pay attention. Fear and greed index is down from all the way down from 90 to 75. Okay, cool. I'm not going to be upset about that. Is what it is. But again, this is backward looking. DeFi Llama from 122 down to 119. Again, not a problem to me because we're above 100 billion. Above 100 billion total value locked. We should be paying attention. We should be happy. Now, remember what I told you? So where are we at right now? 66,961. We're still above my 63, my blue band right there. We're still above it. My blue band went from 57,686, and I just drew this last week. People. So we're above 57,686, and the top part of that blue band was 63,714. And I said, if we hit above 63,714, we're probably going to establish another band. And that's what we're doing. And you can see we started way down here. And then below this orange, there's another orange line. Below that, there's another blue line. Like, I have bands coming all the way up. And then you have my tiny little blue band. We traded within this tight little space. I could even raise that a little bit more, but we traded within that tight space for a minute. And then we just blew by the rest of the 50s and came into 57. And it looks like we're about to blow by that. Looks like 70,000 is actually, the real deal. I think 70,000 is the real deal this week. Somebody thinks it's going to be 75. I don't know that I'm confident about 75, but I am confident about 70. I think we could settle around and move laterally around 70,000. That I think is like a for sure thing. Looking at the big board, Ethereum is up. Are you looking at Ethereum? Ethereum is going to hit 40. It's going to hit 4,000. It's going to hit 4,000. No doubt. I have no doubt about it. Just looking at some of these coins out there, Psy, Kronos. Is it Kronos? No, it's not. It's I forgot what it is, but CRO is out. I gotta know. I gotta click it. Yeah, it is Kronos. I'm not that laney. I'm not that crazy. But Kronos is up. SHIB is down a bit. I mean, Kronos is down a bit, but Kronos is a trading platform, an exchange. I think they're doing things, and their coin is moving, and that's why I look at it. Somebody asked me about HBAR. I like HBAR, but HBAR to me is a newfangled XRP. It's not really meant for retail investors. It's really focused on institutional and, cross-state, meaning country, cross-border transactions. Right. But I do like HBAR. I do like the technology. That's why I have a bag. So SHIB, Doge, Link, all down crazy. But Uniswap is up like crazy. I'm expecting Link to come back in a major way. I think in a fair short order, we could see Link hit 25. I'm sure of it. Matic is down, but Matic is down heavy. Look at the color. Matic is down heavy, but it's down heavy and it's at $1.07. It was just a little while ago that it was below $1. People thought I was nuts. Yeah, I'm not nuts. I'm a little nuts, but that's all right. I know who I am. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, drop me a note. I love hearing from you guys. Cortez, thank you so much for doing that. Thank you so much for signing up. I greatly appreciate all of you. This is what it's all about. It really is all about all of us sharing information with the rest of us and checking each other when we're wrong about something, when we're right about something. Like Cortez, he was like, I'm looking at your numbers, bro. Every time you open up your mouth and you say a number, I'm looking at you. Right now, you're right, but I'm looking at you. He let me know. And I love it, right? Because I'm human. I can be wrong. And because I can be wrong, I like to listen to a lot of people and take it in. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.